3 games in one. It's
Yeah, there's so many different balls and
Good
they're just
afternoon,
kind of
you're
running
joining us
everywhere.
on Away Baby Gold Coast, where we are just about to watch the grand finals of Quidditch at Unibattle.
Yeah.
You'll see on the live stream that is the University of Sunshine Coast, who have come up. They're coming into this game
Got someone knocking them out, and then you need so 3.
Yeah.
You need.
you know, there's a word there that I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but they're the ones that, you know, the underdogs. They're the ones that most people want to win. No offense to UWS.
Yeah, they've certainly proved themselves. This is their first competition where they've actually played against other universities, and I believe that they have really proved themselves. I'm impressed by them, and yeah, I'm rooting for them.
They will unfortunately be missing their star seeker, who has caught Damo, for those who know him, several times over the course of the weekend.
Very impressive.
Very.
Unfortunately, in the last game, she dislocated her shoulder diving for a snitch, and that was loud.
But let's talk about UWS, Oscar.
I think we should.
UWS have gone this entire tournament without having lost a single match, an impressive feat.
That is quite impressive. Today, they are down a couple of players. They had Hannah Monty and Ashwin and a couple of others, maybe, I don't know. Could be others. So we'll see how that plays out for them.
But they do still have quite a few strong players who've been really putting the paces on over the course of the tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
Corey, for example.
Yes.
Also Daniel Ormshaw and possibly the star of the team, Andrew Kolf.
Oh, when did that happen?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. But good for them, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they got another player from another team, and you know, that's like once or twice. That's fine.
I agree. We're not bitter at all.
Love you, UWS. Oh, by the way, this is Daniel Fox,
and this is Oscar Cousins. Thanks for the food, Will. Bye.
So for those watching at home who may not have played Quidditch before, it's a complicated game. You know, there's where most sports have one ball. There are 5 balls in the game of Quidditch. One of those is the quaffle, which is used to put through the hoops for 10 points apiece. Then you have the bludgers. The bludgers are picked up by the beaters, who wear black headbands, and if one of the beaters throws the bludger at you and it hits you, you are subject to the knockout effect, which means that you have to, if you're holding a ball, you have to drop it immediately, dismount your broom, run back to hoops and touch them, at which point you can remount your broom and resume the game.
Very disheartening.
For those regarding the quaffle game, I forgot to mention as well that the white headbands are the chasers, who are the primary players with the quaffle, and then you also have those in the green headband known as the keeper. So they are also essentially a chaser. However, inside the keeper zone, they have a few special immunity rules, which include not being able to be beaten by the beaters, and also they cannot be tackled in their own zone by chasers of the other team.
Oh, it looks like the game is about to begin. I'm excited. I can barely contain my excitement.
Would you look at that? You see that funny character on the screen? Is the snitch wearing yellow shorts. And this is the Damo that we talked about earlier. He's one of the more cinematic, that's not the word I'm looking for.
I think that is the word you're looking for.
Eccentric snitches of Australia, who has gone to the US and done snitching. He's a very well-known player in the Quidditch circles.
Plays for Newcastle.
He does play for Newcastle, and he has a history in mixed martial arts, which, you know, the Seekers who go up against him just love, because, you know, what's better than being thrown around?
Absolutely. They just count the bruises with pride at the end.
That they do.
Yeah, actually, just before the last New South Wales competition, the night before, in fact... Oh, sorry, I'll finish that anecdote later, because the game has begun.
And here's UWS with the quaffle. Andrew Kolf, that is. Oh, intercept!
Oh, by Moustache Man. We don't know USC's names because this is their first comp, so...
But we do know John, who is Peter number 4 in the black shirt, also known as not pineapple hair because he's tied it in a top knot today.
But it looks a lot like a pineapple when it's not in the top knot. We've got the brothers, the That's all I know. There's brothers
Number
Infinity
19 and Infinity. Yes, brothers on USC.
Brothers to us all. Ormshaw's coming up and pass to Kolf.
Yep, UWS have proven to have a very strong offense all weekend.
Oh, that was a lovely save. I think so. I mean, as a beater.
If you're wondering why the ball was just kicked back, is one of the common tactics in Quidditch is if you're about to lose the ball due to a beat from the other team or something like that.
Oh, that's a beat.
If you can get the quaffle back to your own half, then you can maintain possession.
I see Mr. Moustache going up with the quaffle. That's Corey with the ball.
Has been recovered by UWS. One of the other big tactics often looked at in Quidditch is what's known as bludger control. So as you may be able to see, currently UWS, the white team, has 2 bludgers. And that's 2 of 3 bludgers. And because they have that, that means that they can potentially control the game far better than USC currently, who only has 1 bludger.
Ah, we have not Pineapple Head going up against Laura there for the bludger. Now, playing against him, he is very aggressive, and I really enjoy playing against him. Oh, and Corey just got the ball, and
What a beat.
There's a beat. Lovely beat there. I'm sorry, do you have a problem with the way I'm commentating, Danny? All right, and the ball's back with the keeper, and they're about to start an offense.
Oh, that was a great pass from Daniel Ormshaw to Corey, who... And UWS scores the first goal, making it 10 UWS, 0 USC.
That was Andrew Kolf, for those who know the Quidditch community. No surprises there, to be honest.
But he's a star. You'll hear more of him in this very soon. Even if you don't follow Quidditch, you'll hear more of him.
Yep, his name will be up in lights.
Oh, a great pass there from USC. Unfortunately beat by UWS, who have a very strong defense at the moment, managing to control the bludgers. And that looks like it'll be a high tackle from USC on Daniel Ormshaw. And
yep, that's a yellow.
Yep, that's a yellow card for number 19 of USC.
So getting a yellow card, that means that you are immediately taken off the field, and you must stay there for 1 minute or until the opposing team scores. Which is different to a red card, where you are taken off field for good, and one of your subs has to go in the sub box for 2 minutes. Fun facts. UWS defense is really taking out the USC's offensive strategy of long passes, and
in this case, the quaffle has just gone out of the hard boundary line, which means that it now gets reset to the team that did not throw it out of the hard boundary line. So in this case, USC. So today, USC seem to be employing a tactic which is common, which is leaving 1 bludger behind in defense, even when they're on offense, as they can stop many counterattacks led by the other team. It does, however, make it far more difficult for them to regain bludger control, as their other beater is trying as hard as they can, but simply doesn't have that level of support. So basically, if their beater was to help try to regain bludger control, that could work. However, it would potentially leave their defense bludgerless, allowing UWS to score.
Also, the leaving the bludger back on defense severely limits your options on offense, especially as the other team does have bludger control, and they have a lot more room to move in taking up the space with the beaters.
Now, one of the great things UFC have done throughout today is...
that was a lovely deflection, I must say.
Is they've managed to essentially stop the other team from scoring a lot of the time simply by maintaining possession of the quaffle through resets and, in general, slowing down the game. And that's another goal for UWS. 20 to UWS, 0 to USC. However, it does look as though they're really struggling to make an impact on the scoreboard at the moment. And if they don't change something... UWS may just score on the goals, pile on the score, and USC may not be able to do too much about it.
USC is playing far more defensively, which does make it harder to put points on the board. And their main offensive strategy is really not working out for them against this particular chaser team.
Ooh. Oh, unfortunate miss there.
And that's a reset to the keeper, and let's see another offense go through.
Earlier in the tournament, USC also were passing far more pinpoint, and they had a lot more energy for their team to be able to run onto it, and were often able to get the quaffle right near the hoop. However, as the tournament has gone on, they seem to have grown a bit more tired and sluggish, which has made this tactic of theirs, which they usually employ, less effective.
Yeah, 3-day comp can be really killer, especially with all the injuries that has been happening over the last 2 days.
So now I can tell you pretty much straight away that the thing that I thought was going to happen did not happen. That's just embarrassing for me, really.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed for you. She's doing very well as a defensive beater, I must say.
That's right. I think at the moment USC's defense is being held together quite a lot simply by that beater. The chasers are doing their best as well, but without that beater really making on-point beats every single time, the score for UWS would be much higher. And that's another goal for UWS, making the score 30 to 0.
And don't you feel foolish saying pinpoint beat every time just as she missed a beat?
So now the score is 30 to 0. For those watching at home who may not know, the final ball in this game is called the snitch. And the snitch is played, there's someone known as the snitch runner, and they have an OzTag thing on the back of their pants, which the seekers have to grab to gain 30 points. And the seekers and the snitch are released at the 18-minute mark. So at this point, at 30 points down, if USC were to catch the snitch, the score would be tied at 30-30, and the game would be forced into overtime. So USC really needs to get some points on the board to make sure that UWS doesn't get more of a lead. Otherwise, they'll be simply put out of the match.
Oh, look at that. USC just got bludger control. Let's see how this turns out in their favor. Let's see some points on those scoreboards, those multiple scoreboards. Yes, I am in total control of my words at all times. Unfortunately, we've got UWS with the quaffle. I mean, I'm being totally impartial. I just like everyone to win, so I'm rooting for the team that's not winning. I'm totally professional about this, guys. Wow, that was great. That was a nice thing to watch.
Some might say almost unsportsmanlike behavior, but
who would say that? I do like watching a chain of beaters throwing the bludgers at each other and catching it. Because really, when you just catch a bludger as a beater, you don't think that the other person will then catch it again. So, yeah. Good to
Another
see.
stray pass there from USC, giving possession of the quaffle back to UWS. unless something drastically changes, it does look as though this is going to be a UWS game through and through.
Now that we have a slow moving forward, I just want to say hi to Shu. Hi, Shu. Wish you were here. And we've got a pass to Kolf. Oh, that would have been a nice deflection in. Unfortunately, it missed.
Hi, Mum and Dad. You're probably not watching, but that's okay.
It's okay. My parents wouldn't be watching this either. Alright, USC keeper with the ball. Seems to be going. Oh, and there's a pass there. One thing that I've noticed from the USC team throughout this comp, which is very common amongst new players, and well, this is a new team, that the Chasers' perception of beaters is lacking more so than other teams. I feel their Chasers are looking solely at the quaffle, and then there would be a beater right there to beat them, but that's just me.
The ref has just sent off number 69 from USC for, quote, a number of things.
Yep, that's James for you.
Although the keeper, who is currently holding the quaffle, was beat, he was beat after the whistle was blown, so he is staying on his broom with possession and will resume when the referee blows their whistle. Oh, that's an excellent beat there from the USC beater.
I'm liking this pie. Pi is the number. I really like that number anyway, but, you know. Oh, that kick. USC using kicks a lot more than I would think our team ever would.
So as you can see, the game moving quite slowly right now. I think we can attribute this to I believe this is the 11th game each team will be playing over the course of the last 3 days. And you'll notice that UWS currently only has one substitute, and USC has quite a few substitutes at the moment. Though it has been a very long weekend. And speaking personally for myself, I can guarantee you that every single player on that field is incredibly sore.
Oh, absolutely. If not injured. I mean, all of our team's injured, so yeah. God, I'm good at words. Danny, take over, quick. I'll keep rambling.
Back to the game. We see UWS again, still slowly moving up with the quaffle. No real pressure on them at this time. The beater holding closely onto their bludger. This is important for them because if they beat someone who then no longer has quaffle possession, that makes a very great opportunity for UWS to score. And this is because as soon as they lose possession of that bludger, the quaffle player on UWS has the chance to just run straight to goals, and it can be quite difficult for defending chasers to stop that.
Oh, interesting. Look, Steven just dropped the bludger. They're doing the 1.5. So this is when, as you can see on the UWS goals, there is one beater with a bludger, and oh, there's a stoppage. I'll explain this later.
It looks as though we may have an injury on the field. And it looks as though this may be a player who was injured yesterday, so it may be a pre-existing injury, unfortunately.
Such is the nature of the 3-day tournament. Everyone crowding around the person on the floor. It looks injury. Yep. Yep. Who put me up to this? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to continue my discussion of the 1.5 that was cut by the rude stoppage here. So, we see Laura Atkins on the UWS side with a bludger in her hand and a bludger quite close to her, while the other UWS beater, who is Steven at this point,
Can I what, sorry?
his plan was to go and hassle number Pi here with the bludger so that the UWS chaser team has no bludgers to go up against.
Yeah, you can expect this to be particularly useful against a team like USC, who haven't really had too much experience playing against teams outside of their university, as they won't have been put up against this kind of tactic before and may not be aware of what's happening. The USC number 12 is being taken off the field, and the referee is trying to make sure that everybody's getting back to their brooms to resume the game once the player is off the field.
And good guy Damo the snitch is helping take him off. Oh, isn't that adorable?
If only he was the seeker, he could try to grab that tail now. As it's brooms down, it wouldn't count though, unfortunately, so that's just irrelevant.
But still would have been nice if it could happen.
No, so it's 18 minutes game time. Yeah, so this is real time game time, like this is stoppage, game time stoppage. So we're just about to hit the 18-minute mark of real time. You may recall earlier that we said the snitch would be released at this point. However, just to clarify that point, the snitch is released after 18 minutes of game time. So game time stops for stoppages such as this. We're about to resume. So just as an update, we're currently at 14 minutes of game time. The score is 30 UWS to 0 USC, and the Seekers will be being released in 4 minutes. If USC can keep UWS to no more scoring and then catch the snitch, the game will be forced into overtime, and that's really USC's best chance of winning this match. If the game is forced into overtime, what happens is the game starts, the two teams swap sides, and the game starts from brooms up again. However, after 30 seconds, the snitch is released, and the teams have 5 minutes, and if the snitch is caught, that ends the game, or once the 5 minutes are up, that ends the game.
And that was Andrew Kolf scoring another goal for UWS.
So whichever comes first in overtime ends the game. The snitch catch or 5 minutes being up. And whoever has more points at the end of that wins the match and wins title of champion of Unibattle 2015.
For Quidditch.
Yes. I suppose. We'd also like to mention the Valiant team picking up the bronze medal at Quidditch Unibattle, which will be the Australian national Nargles this year.
What a top team.
What a brilliant, fantastic, amazing team. They put up a real strong fight, losing by only 10 points to USC in the previous match, allowing USC to get into the grand final. So USC now playing without the beater that has been typically playing defensively for them. So we'll see how this goes for them. If their new set of beaters can maintain the defensive stronghold as before.
Oh!
And she's back on!
I was about to say that this number 4 normally plays a more offensive role as a beater, but now he's playing that offensive role as a beater. So, yeah, everything's back the way it's meant to be in their team.
For those wondering at home, we are typically talking more about the USC in defense, because that's mostly what we can see right now as we're on the other side of the field.
That was a beat by Laura Atkins. Typically a chaser, but she is actually holding her own here, which I like to see.
It's a good question as to who UWS will put on as their seeker when the time comes to it, as they've had of the 3 teams playing so far, they've had the weakest seeking game so far, and if they can't manage to score another goal, they did score another goal, didn't they? It's 40-0 now.
Yeah. Scratch that.
If the game does get back into snitch range, at this point in time, USC may have the strongest seeking team, and that's a worry for UWS rather.
I believe USC has had the strongest seeking team for the entire tournament. All right, well, we're disagreeing on this, but I think they had, but Danny thinks that we had.
Yeah, we're just not sure on the numbers of who's caught more snitches. Good stop there from the keeper on USC.
Oh, a long pass there, and it goes straight to Ormshaw on UWS.
In Quidditch, that type of pass is also known as a desperation pass. And that's another goal for UWS, taking them to 50, while USC remains on 0. Another desperation pass from USC there, leading to a turnover for UWS. And a near goal there for Christie, blocked by the keeper from USC.
She's doing a good job
he's
at that.
Managed to stay alive, but with 2 beaters on him, he simply hasn't been able to get through, and there's a turnover to UWS. The Seekers are now on the field, as you may be able to see.
Oh, looks like Stephen has been injured here, the beater for UWS.
So it looks like Stevens coming off the field and is being replaced. We're not sure at this point whether Stephen will be able to resume playing today or not. But he looks as though he may be okay. Everyone at home can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes, it really does look like the UWS team.
And Stephen is back on the field. Look at that.
Oh, he is seeking now.
Oh,
yeah.
It's called beat. Looked like a block. However, it is called beat, and so Kulf dismounts and returns to his hoops. USC managing to maintain the quaffle and passing back to the keeper. So for those watching what's happening with the Snitch and the Seekers, basically the Snitch is allowed to do close to whatever they want. as long as it's maintaining the safety of the Seekers at the time. So the Seekers, however, are restricted to only being allowed to attempt to grab the snitch tail, and they're allowed to also physically interact with the other Seeker while they're going for the snitch tail to try and prevent them from catching the snitch, or to just try and get better positioning to catch the tail. We're probably looking at today a snitch catch may occur from the snitch being held up by both players and being forced to expose the snitch tail to one of the team Seekers. Now, the game of Quidditch, in the main round of it before overtime, only stops once the snitch is in fact caught. So to ensure that the game does not go forever, at certain points in the game, the snitch will be handicapped. So at 25 minutes, the snitch will be handicapped to only using one arm. At 30 minutes, they will be handicapped to using no arms, at which point the snitch often will fend off the other players by shoving their head in their chest. And there's another goal for UWS, making the score 60 UWS to 0 USC. It looks at this point as though the USC Seeker is still attempting to catch the snitch, even though once they do so, they will lose the game. At this point, it's really about pride. And it looks like the USC Seeker has caught the golden snitch.
Victor crumbed it.
And the referee is seeing if the catch was clean. He is consulting with the snitch ref. It is called good. Game over. 60 UWS to 30 USC. Congratulations to both teams. And it looks like UWS will be crowned champion of Quidditch Unibattle 2015.
So that puts the rankings, bronze medal to the fantastic Australian National Nargles, silver medal to the USC Dementors, and first place to UWS Thestrals.
We'd like to also extend a warm thank you to Unibattle and the organisers of this tournament. So thank you, Eva, and thank you to all the brilliant volunteers who I'm not going... Well, you know what? Should I attempt to name all of them and accidentally forget one?
Why not?
I'm sure I will, so apologies in advance. Thank you, James, our head ref for the tournament. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Naismith. Thank you, Jen. I think that covers it.
Do you want to take that risk?
I will take that risk.
All right, that's it.
Look, USC looks as happy as ever. We're getting a thumbs up from John. Love that guy. And, you know, they're just a happy bunch of campers. And I look forward to seeing them at future tournaments, really.
Oh, I really hope they make it to Quaffle this year.
Yeah, and, you know, if they can make it to Quid Camp as well, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You know, maybe represent State of Origin as being all players from their university, but that's fine.
It's just like live streaming. Let's say hello, guys. You're on camera.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Taking a photo together. Without the bronze medal team, but that's fine.
That is fine.
Whatever.
I didn't even want to be in it. Oh, love the game of Quidditch, don't you?
Certainly do, Oscar. All right, guys, we're going to sign off now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we did commentating it.
Absolutely, Danny.
So this is Daniel Fox.
And this is Oscar Cousins.
We wish you good afternoon.